Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Matt Lloyd. So I'm here in Singapore. I'm in my hotel room here for just a few more days and then heading on to KL in Malaysia before the Christmas break. So I thought I would answer a few questions. Today's question comes from Kelsa. Let me just read it out to you. The question is, Matt, what do million-dollar producers in business do differently from everyone else? Now, I've had this question before, different variations of it, but I thought I would answer it this time with a story which I heard for the first time in 2010 from a guy called Mike Filsame. I remember I had brought this product by Mike Filsame, and at the time my business was struggling. I was probably making less than $30,000-$40,000 a year at most, and I think I was spending a lot more money than I was bringing in. So I invested in this product. I think it was about $1,000. And I remember in one of the modules, Mike was telling the story of the fox and the hedgehog. Now you might have heard of this before, but basically the story goes like this. You got a fox and you've got a hedgehog. Now the fox knows a lot of different things. The fox can run, it can jump, it's got a very keen sense of smell. The fox can do a lot of different things. Okay? The hedgehog, on the other hand, doesn't do much of anything. It moves very slow. It certainly can't run and jump like the fox. It can't do all the different things that the fox can do, but it can do one thing extremely well. Okay, its defense mechanism is to curl up into a ball, and with all of its spikes around it, once it curls up into a ball, the fox, with all of its tools and all of its different abilities, there's nothing that the fox can do to get to the hedgehog once it curls up into that little ball. Now, I don't know if I just told that right. I think Mike did a better job of it. But the point is, as entrepreneurs, especially in those early stages when we're getting our first business off the ground, we want to learn and we want to be able to do a lot of different things. So we're like the fox in a way. We can do lots and lots of different things. And what million-dollar producers generally do differently is they have this epiphany at some point in their business's growth, where they realize that most of the money that they're making, or that they can see that they can make, comes from relatively few processes and few things in their business, very few things. And so what they do is they start to put more of their focus on those very few things, rather than spreading their attention and their energy over mastering a whole bunch of different skills, where most of them are largely irrelevant. And same with their time. Rather than spreading their time over lots and lots of different things, they choose to focus their time on fewer activities that bring in most of the money. So let me give you some concrete examples here. Mobe as a company, I'm just going to talk about Mobe for a bit. Mobe as a company does well over 8 figures in revenue per year, and in 2017 we should even do more than that. So we bring in millions and millions of dollars of revenue every single month, and so it does quite well. The difference between Mobe now and Mobe 5 years ago, when it was a much smaller operation, I used to spread my attention over many different things. So I was doing a little bit here on Facebook, I was doing the email, I was trying to build teams, I was doing a lot of different things, and I didn't have sources of customers that were bringing in the majority of my leads. Like, it was very hit and miss. I might get a customer from a banner ad over here, from social media over there, but it was very kind of hit and miss. Okay, whereas today it's a much bigger operation, and we actually get the majority of all the money that Mobe brings in comes from maybe 3 different mediums, advertising mediums, and within those mediums there's anywhere from maybe 2 to 5 different particular sources. So let me give you an example. One of our biggest mediums for bringing in customers is CPA, cost per action marketing. Okay, and that's where you go to a CPA network, and if you don't know what that is, just Google list of CPA networks and you can find them. There's a lot of them out there. But basically, a CPA network is where someone like you or me, we can go and put our offer, our sales video, our sales letter our offer on the CPA network, and on the CPA network there's a bunch of different affiliates, and they all have their different advertising methods. Some of them will have their own email list, some of them will have they'll be very good at social media, but they all have their different traffic sources. But basically they will then go and promote the offer, and we'll pay them every time they bring us a sale. So if they bring us a $49 sale, we could be paying anywhere from maybe $90. You could pay even more. You could pay up to $150. It really depends. But you pay them more money than the customer brings in. You go negative on the sale. Why do you do that? Because on the back end, that's where you make your profit, okay, and all the back end additional sales, and they don't get any of that. They just get the one-time payout when they bring you a customer. So we get a lot of business from CPA. And out of all the business that comes in from the CPA advertising we do, most of it comes from, I would say, 3 particular CPA vendors who have their own list of sub-affiliates, right? So my point is, all the different things that we're engaged in, like Instagram and Facebook and so on, it all helps, but at the end of the day, I know that the most important thing for me to focus on is making sure that lead volume from the CPA advertising we do is steady. So I put the majority of my focus on that, and that has made us tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars in revenue. Not from the initial $49 sales, but I'm talking about all the back-end sales that come from that. And then another example is, out of all the marketing funnels we've had over the years, the one marketing funnel which has outperformed all of them by an enormous margin, of course, you probably know it, is the 21 steps. So, you know, a lot of, to get back to the question, a lot of people who aren't operating at that $1 million level or beyond, they're dabbling in different things, and they're spreading their attention very thin, and they're jumping from one thing to the next, and they can do lots and lots of different things reasonably well, but they're just like the fox. You know, just imagine the fox running around and jumping around, and it can do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's better that you be the hedgehog, where you know how to do just a few things very, very well, and they are incredibly effective, and that's where you invest most of your time. So you've got to discover, what are those few things? What are the few sales funnels that work really, really well in your business? What are the few scalable traffic sources that you can use and that you can leverage, and which are very scalable? So in other words, you can spend $10 a day on that traffic source to start, and then once you start getting customers, you can scale it up to $100 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and even beyond. So what are those few very scalable traffic sources where you can put most of your focus and you can do extremely well? So that's my answer. You want to be the hedgehog versus the fox. There's a lot more money in being the hedgehog. Every single colleague and friend I have who's done or who's doing millions or tens of millions of dollars in revenue per year, they all have their few things which bring in the majority of the money in their businesses. They've identified what those few things are, and then they put 90% of their focus in those few things. Okay, so Kelso, I hope that helps. I hope you got some value from that, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks.